Hi Aquarius, how are you, friend? Welcome to your November reading. I hope you've been taking excellent care of yourself. If you've never been here before, my name is Allie, and I am so grateful to spend this precious time with you and bring you messages from the Most High, the information that you most need to know. So before we get started pulling cards here, I've already cleansed and meditated over this space, and I want to share with you some of the meditation, the things that came through in the meditation for you before we start pulling cards. I feel like this is a very intentional reading, like Spirit's already, they always already have the messages planned out that they want to give you, but it feels very like it's a very serious and intense message that they want to give you. It holds a lot of weight is what they're giving me. So first of all, I was given an image of you looking at a candle up close, and I'm going to use the candle I have in front of me as an example. So you were looking at a candle in front of you, and you kind of had your hands over it like this, like blocking it, shielding it from somebody who was trying to blow it out or stamp it out. And you were doing everything that you could to guard it and protect it and keep that from happening. But it gave me a very weary feeling, like you're tired. But you're still doing your best to not let that light, I think metaphorically, that light inside you go out. And then I had a vision of you walking down a gravel road that was lined with trees. And I had the feeling that I didn't know where you were going, and that you, let me put it in your perspective, that you didn't know where you were going, but in that unknown of not knowing where I'm going, I do know that I'm supposed to be taking these steps forward and away from something else. You were walking away from something and you didn't know what you were walking toward, but you knew with purpose that you were supposed to be walking down this gravel road towards what you didn't know, I didn't know, but it didn't really matter, because it seemed like you knew the most important thing was that you were taking steps away. Very Eight of Cups energy. Yeah, so that's primarily what I got for you in that meditation. I'm not sure what all decks we're going to use, but they've been drawing me to the Oracle of Light, which is kind of a galactic deck. So if you're not into that kind of thing, it's okay. But it's not like strictly galactic. So there's clearly a reason that Spirit wants us to use this deck to start your reading. And I want to ask Spirit, what is the main message here? Can we get that? And then any clarifying cards that you have. Again, we're setting the intention for November for you, Aquarius. What information does Aquarius need to know for the month of November? And if you find this outside of November, then you were meant to find it outside of November. Don't let that dissuade you from continuing to listen, because you were guided here for a reason, but you can just use it for the next month ahead or the month coming up for you. All right, Spirit. Main energy, please. Main energy for Aquarius. And any clarifying cards. Please and thank you. I love this deck. It's just a little bit big for my hands, so I kind of have to get a good grip on it before I start shuffling. All right. Main, thank you. I'm going to put those on top because I'm not entirely sure that they wanted those. So at the bottom, we have ego alert. Let it go. Your soul doesn't care about this. That's very interesting because, like we were saying, that walking away energy was like the Eight of Cups, like you were walking away from something. And I think you've had an epiphany that's something that you've put a lot of energy into, or something that's caused you a lot of grief, a lot of pain, is not something that you need to be putting your energy in anymore. And you're walking away from that. Now, this is crazy because the energy I was getting with you in the candle is that you were trying to protect that light, and that's exactly what we see here. And then we have cats from Lemuria want to connect with you. Place your crystals on this card to activate Lemurian codes for your third eye. We will come back to this card because I feel like there's a lot going on here. There's like this fortune cookie energy on top of the cats. We have a lot of clear quartz crystal energy going here, which is an amplifier. It also helps repel negativity. It's also a protective stone. That's what I'm wearing right now. So yeah, we've got a lot going on here. I want to actually use my new Urban Crow Oracle to get some more information here. Cats from Lemuria. So maybe you might feel like you have a connection to that, I want to say time period, but what even is time? I can say this to you, Aquarius. What even is time? Time is a construct. It's not linear. It doesn't really exist. But anyway, you may have a connection to Lemuria. Lemurian quartz might be a crystal that you're drawn to. I've felt very drawn to Lemurian quartz, actually. As I say this to you, it's been a minute, but there was a time period where I was very, very connected. I might have a piece of it right here, actually. No, I think this is just regular quartz, but I do know in researching Lemurian quartz that you're looking for like striations, might be the correct word, maybe on Lemurian quartz. But again, it's a protective stone. It repels negativity and it amplifies what you want it to amplify. So yeah, protecting this light. We have grief, number 22, that just came out here. Yeah, it does something that doesn't serve you anymore, that hasn't served you for a while, that has caused you grief, actually. Then we have waterproof, which actually makes a lot of sense. Actually, that makes things make a lot more sense. Let's see if you can see this here. I'm not sure. We have night, and then we have fear. Okay, so I know we're, it's not like the best usage of space here, but for you to see. And now it also is important, number 23 here at the bottom, we have the growth card. Okay. So I feel like Spirit is reiterating this sense that I feel like you're in the process of this. You're either in the process of this realization or of this walking away of someone, or it really feels like a person, but someone or something that has harmed you, that has not, that has hindered your growth, that has actively tried to hinder your growth. More than just hinder your growth, they've actively tried to stamp out your light. That's so weird. I don't know if you saw what my mouth just did, but it like I blew, and it almost blew the candle out, and that was completely unintentional. So someone who's trying to blow your light out, to snuff it out. You have been divinely protected through all of this, through this learning experience, through this painful, growing learning experience. You have been protected here. And this waterproof card really ties all of this in for me. And not only are you divinely protected, and you have been through many iterations of of lives that you have incarnated into, which is what this Cats from Lemuria card is really starting to give me here. With waterproof, it talks about on a crow, they have certain feathers that literally keep them from getting soaked from rain, like that keep them dry, where the rain is falling on them, but their body itself stays dry. They're not affected by the rain. You're not affected as deeply by whatever grief or dark night of the soul, fear, darkness that you have been traversing, navigating, trying like hell to keep your light lit. Okay, you've been protected, and now you're starting to see your light for what it is and take actionable steps towards away from this situation and towards the light. Like the meditation, you didn't really know where you were going, but you knew you couldn't stay where you were. You had to leave, you had to go, you had to walk away from something, and it didn't really matter where the destination was because it wasn't where you were. And that was the message, that was the important part of your reading. I feel like in all of this, you may have felt like you lost a part of yourself, but I'm hearing it's never really been lost. It's going to be found again because of your choosing yourself. I feel like similarly, I can't remember if it was Sagittarius. It might have been the Sagittarius reading. So you might have a Sagittarius placement. But there was a big energy about the last full moon in Aries and how significant that was, allowing you to see something for what it was, for you to have renewed motivation to choose yourself, to walk away, to do something differently. I feel like that something energetically happened, and it would really be beneficial for you to look at your birth chart if you're able to kind of see what transits were going on over the full moon in Aries to help you get a better sense of the energies that you're currently navigating and where you're going forward, almost like a roadmap. Spirit's wanting to give you that advice, like a roadmap, a personalized roadmap to help you on the steps ahead. But the most important message that is coming through here for me, for you, is this overwhelming need for Spirit to let you know just how protected you have always been and currently are. Especially because you're taking those actionable steps to remove yourself from a bad situation, from a bad person. They are saying like a bad person. Okay. And I really genuinely try. I've spent a lot of my life being a very judgmental person. And so it's hard for me to say someone may be a bad person because I do believe that people can change. But what I think the energy Spirit's giving me here for you is that whoever or whatever this was is genuinely bad for you. They may be a bad person. They might be able to change. But right now, you have to be removed from that. And you are removing yourself. They're telling me you are doing this. I feel like maybe you have a lot of fear, like what's coming through here, of the unknown, of what's to come. How are you going to handle this new life or this new season when you're literally walking into the unknown, and they're wanting to let you know that you are bulletproof is what I'm hearing. And they're bringing me back to this waterproof, where there's the essence, the core of you is untouchable. It is so protected by Spirit. This Lemuria card is really fascinating to me, and I still want to get more information on it, as well as the grief card. So it is interesting. We have 33 and 22. We have two different master numbers sitting next to one another here. 33 is the builder. 22, 222, those things remind me of like divine partnerships, divine connections. But it is attached to the grief card. So I don't know, this may be specific for just like one or two people out there, but whatever the situation you're walking away from might be particularly difficult because you might share a deep loss, a deep grief with the person you need to remove yourself from. And so it might feel like no one's ever going to get me because I experienced this deep loss with this person. But that's really, and they're telling me that you know this, that's really not a reason to stay with someone who's actively trying to snuff out your light. You can't do their work for them. And that goes for anyone and anything. You can only be responsible for yourself and your own personal work. You cannot do anything for them. I feel like if I am talking to you and you and this person experienced, or maybe just that person experienced a deep grief, but you've kind of been along for the ride with them as they've been navigating their grief. It's like Spirit is showing me that you have done the work and they have not at all. They're worse off now than they were in the beginning of their grief cycle. Like there's not even a cycle for them. They're stuck and they're like going backwards. But that's not for you to fix. There's nothing that you can do there except continue to protect yourself, protect your light, and take those actionable steps towards the light, and not stay in the quicksand drowning with them. That's not for you. I want to let me see here. I think we're going to use tarot, actually. If I can, Spirit, just guide me to... Interesting. Okay, so we're going to use the Santa Muerte Tarot to get more information on what the message they're wanting to bring through here on the Cats from Lemuria card. I do feel called to mention, if you've never had a past life reading done, which is one of my favorite kinds of readings to do because they're just infinitely fascinating and offer such a wealth of information on our current incarnation, like things that we're dealing with and struggling now. I would really encourage you to find someone that you trust and have that done. There's some like significant past life ties that I think you have with this person. But more than that, there's things going on in your own, for you specifically, that have connections to events and really intense, I want to say like karmic situations from past lives that are repeating in this life for you. So I would just really encourage you, if that's something that you feel called to do, to find someone that you trust. I offer them as well, but I'm not trying to like peddle my services. I'm genuinely bringing a message through. So if it's not with me, that's totally cool. It's just, they're bringing that through. So if it's something you feel called to do, I would look into that. Just make sure that it's somebody that you trust, because, especially when we're talking about past life stuff, I would personally, I want to make sure this is someone that I genuinely trust the messages coming through from, because somebody could be sitting there and just making up whatever. We're talking about past life things. But also I think as an Aquarius, people don't put enough stock. I don't feel like people put enough stock in what an intuitive and kind of psychic sign you are. I feel like the water signs get that more than you, but you're a very intuitive sign, very intuitive. So, using your best discernment when it comes to things like that. Spirit, can we have some more information on this Cats from Lemuria? And now we have the Chariot come out reversed on that card, which tells me what we're talking about with past life stuff, that there's some karmic connections, things from a past life in that time frame that are affecting you now, that are causing blockages now in this incarnation. So we have 3 of Swords reversed at the bottom here. We have 3 of Pentacles reversed, the Star on the Grief card. We have 2 of Swords, 4 of Swords reversed here on Waterproof, and then we have Strength reversed. So we've got a lot of reversed energy here. I don't always read reversals, but I feel called to in this situation, and I do normally read reversals in this particular tarot deck, just in case you were wondering. So I love that they gave us a card for each card. That's very intentional, and I'm very grateful for that. It helps make things make even more sense for me. Like, for instance, on the Fear card here, we have Strength reversed. Again, it's telling me you have fear around wondering if you are strong enough, if you have the if you're resilient enough to go forward alone, to leave whatever you felt like you had built behind, to leave that person or situation behind and walk down this unknown gravel road alone. You do. You have it in spades, I'm hearing. I just heard you have it in spades. With the 2 of Swords on protection, this is a mental thing of, it's like seeds of doubt. Am I really protected by Spirit? Am I really, have I really been protected this whole time? Do I really have what it takes to cut free, cut loose, and go my own way and be my own person and free myself from this? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. With the 4 of Swords reversed on Waterproof, it's like, yes, you've been protected through all this, but also at what cost? At the cost of your peace, of feeling like you are in a season of respite. You have not felt that way, is what I'm trying to express. Things have felt like you have had to work for them. You have had to work for any ounce of peace, any ounce of rest, and that's not the way life is supposed to be. While you've been protected, it's come at the expense of your peace, and you've been sitting in a downpour this whole time. The soul of you has not been tarnished, but all these other layers have gotten really soaked in the storm that you've been living through. The 3 of Pentacles reversed on the Knight card. Again, this is giving me some past life energy. Things that you had tried to grow in numerous lifetimes with this person. It feels like a very karmic connection or situation, however it works for you. Just, they weren't growing. And maybe this has been going on for like 3 years or more, but you've been trying, you've been watering these seeds, you've been doing what you can to preserve yourself and thinking that the tides will change, and nothing's changing. It's just gotten worse. It's just gotten harder. It's just gotten where you've been so close to that light being blown out. They keep giving me that same message over and over and over again, because I think that's truly how you felt. That someone's just about to put the lid on top of your candle, But the most beautiful thing here is the Star card on top of the Grief card. Wow. The Star card, number 17. The healing that's coming, that you're already kind of moving through by giving yourself respite from this situation, allowing yourself time to breathe, to process, to mourn and cry without the heaviness of somebody's unhealed trauma and baggage pressing down on you is worth its weight in gold. It can't be overstated how important this period of healing that you're moving into is. It's critical, it's crucial, I'm hearing. But you're going to do it. You're doing it. You are strong enough, you're brave enough, you're supported enough, you're protected enough. This is the path forward. And one of my favorite quotes that I have to tell myself in really trying times, and I've had a lot of trying times in the last 5 years, let me tell you. I remind myself that I walk by faith and not by sight. And that is literally the image they gave me of you walking forward without knowing where your destination was or where you were headed or where it was leading. But you had to walk forward. You're walking forward with conviction. And that's where you're on the right path. All of this is to say that you're on the right path. Spirit wants you to know that. You are moving ahead. Even if it might feel like you're walking through quicksand at the moment, it's not going to feel like that forever. And the most important thing here also is that you made the decision, you're making the decision to cut loose what is weighing you down and move forward with conviction, choosing yourself. I feel like this Lemuria card again is referring to karmic attachments and patterns from past lives that are weighing you down today. So it's, in a sense, you could say this is like more healing work to do. I don't feel like this is something you got to go out and do tomorrow, but I do think it's something that they want to bring up to help you on your healing journey, so you're aware of it. So when you're ready to tackle that, you know you have a roadmap, again, a roadmap of where to go. Are there any other messages about this, Spirit? Any other messages? Thank you. The High Priestess. Are you kidding me? Like, trust your intuition. Again, we were already talking about how intuitive you are. Trust your intuition. Trust that within you holds the key to unlock whatever information you need. You hold the key to release yourself from binds that don't serve you. Follow your gut. If your gut is telling you to walk, do it. Go that way. Walk, follow your intuition. Then we have Page of Swords and Two of Wands. Okay, I really love that. So I feel like there's a new inspired, I don't know if it's a message, an idea, a new thought about taking about a new path forward. Maybe it's something that you have had a gut feeling on for a long time about how to move yourself out of troubled waters. There's something about reading and learning here, about writing out your story that feels very significant. I feel like you're a very, what's the word I'm looking for, Spirit? I feel like you're essentially a good writer, but I don't think you tap into that energy enough. I feel like you're able to really reach some depth within yourself, some deep and maybe hidden and buried emotions by writing. But I also think there's an element here of learning something new, or taking that chance on yourself. But again, they keep bringing me back here to this feeling within you where you feel like you're not smart enough, or you're not good enough, or you don't know if you can make it, if you can do it. It's like, tell those doubtful thoughts that there's no place for them here. You're in a new chapter, a new timeline. You're moving forward. You're not going to be confused or stuck anymore because you're sick of being in that energy anyway. What's the worst thing that could happen by leaving this situation and trying something new? You fail. Well, failure is only learning. You know, you will get back up and try again because you've done it a million times, but you know you can't stay where you've been. You have to move forward from this energy. Yes, it's very divinely inspired, and you're very divinely guided and protected. We literally have 6 of Swords at the bottom here, which is moving you into calmer waters. Moving through and moving into calmer waters. Okay, let's finish your reading with one last oracle card. A message of encouragement. Yeah, I'm going to use the Moonology deck. I've been feeling that lately. One last message of encouragement for Aquarius, please and thank you, Spirit. And if you've gotten this far, please, if you feel called, like this reading, comment below. If you don't know what to comment, you could leave a cat emoji. You could leave a crow emoji. Maybe a blue heart. And I feel like a skull. Is there a skull emoji? I would maybe do that. Not only because we're using the Santa Muerte Tarot in your reading, but because you are going through a rebirth, a death and rebirth. Like, share, or subscribe if you feel called. Those are totally free ways that help support me, help support this channel. It encourages me to keep posting readings like this for you. The comments I read, you don't know what they do to my heart. I'm just immensely grateful that you've chosen to spend this precious time with me. All right, thank you, Spirit. Can we have one final message of encouragement for Aquarius, please? One final message of encouragement for Aquarius, please and thank you. We got 2. Okay, the first one is prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. Yes. What you are experiencing, what you are moving into is prosperity. In every way, shape, and form. Not just monetarily, prosperity emotionally, prosperity on a soul and heart level. You're not having to hide your light under a basket or hide it behind your hands to keep somebody else from blowing it out. You are able to just be lit up and proud and living your most prosperous and abundant life. Like, yes. Yes, that is a message of encouragement if I've ever seen it. Then we got your second card. I haven't even looked at it yet. Meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces. Very interesting. I do think that it's imperative is the word I'm hearing. Interesting. Imperative for you to take some time out to really be introspective about what it is that you want life to look like after all that you've been through. Maybe take the time to write out a list. Here are the things that are non-negotiables that I want in my life that looks like the most prosperous and abundant life for me. Take time to write those out, to really meditate on them. Contemplate about what you want. And I love that you got 2 new moons. Okay, so, I mean, there is no bigger sign of a new beginning than a new moon. This is what you have ahead for you. And then look at this, new moon in Aquarius. This is crazy. Bring love into the situation. This love for yourself, because she's by herself. She's pouring water. She's naked in this water. She is taking time out to nurture herself, to bring love into self-love into the situation. I mean, you have 3 new moons here. One of them being in your sign. And then after I pulled that, it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio, which is a full circle moment for your reading for me. 3 new moons there. Yeah. I hope this reading resonated for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much for spending your precious time with me, and I am rooting for you for this new beginning, and that you are choosing yourself and choosing love for yourself. If you feel called to book a personal reading with me, you can find that information at my website at theseaowl.com. You can email me, text me, find me on all the social media platforms. I love to connect with you so much. I cannot express how much I love to connect with you. Again, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you feel called to do that, it helps me immensely. And more than anything, please take excellent care of yourself. And I'll see you soon.